Oh, Kazaa, everybody, welcome to something that is going to be absolutely awesome over the next 3 days. It's Wasteland Weekend time. Yes, you get an extended Easter weekend build of literally 2 videos a day, teaching you some little tips, some little tricks inside of Fallout. But before all that stuff goes on, please go ahead, like, share, subscribe, click the bell notification, because not only does it make you sexy, but it makes me sexy as well. However, you guys wanted to see how I build my You Are Here sign. The one on the right is mine, the one on the left is Sinister Hands, or Shh Gaming. Okay, so this is the original. This is the one that was first ever used in its inception, okay? It's been altered a little bit over the weeks that it's existed, but this is basically how the original one was created. In fact, I'm pretty sure it was saved from the original time it was built. Yeah. It's a little bit funky, but it's designed in a way that makes it user-friendly. This one is the one that Sinister Hand built, which is technically wrong, but it's more, it's more pretty, okay? It's a little bit harder to build, but it's more pretty. It doesn't have like the little backing board. And the way he does the X as well is he puts the X on the poster while it's on a wall, then takes it and sticks it inside here. I'll show you how. I'll show you how to build both. And like a good TV presenter, here's one I made earlier. So, real quick, the positioning of the posts has to be roughly a generator apart, a small generator apart, okay? And the reason I do the backing display cases is when I put this down, the backing display cases give this little bit of a, kind of like a border protection. As I put this thing down, it offers stability, because normally, when you put it down, you're putting it against the post. You're never putting it against the Pickaxe Pilsner sign, okay? You're putting it against the post behind it. So with these behind that, it gives it a bit of extra stability. And by the way, the way I was doing it very gently is because this thing likes to go in at an angle, okay? And if it's at an angle, it's kind of ugly. So what you want to do is you want to kind of aim for the E in Pickaxe, and roughly kind of about just where the E ends at the top, that's where you want to be aiming for. And you also want to be, you know, straight on, fronting this thing. You don't want to be off at an angle because it'll be a bit funky trying to place it. You want to be dead on. All this has to be pretty much done from the front, okay? So you can actually build it without the display case backing boards, but I like to go for it because it adds a little bit of, you know, extra detail. I like the backing side of the actual display cases themselves. So as you can see, they've got the little metal things on it. I like that as well, it adds a bit of extra detail, but you don't need it. You can actually build this without it, so if you don't want it, that's perfectly fine, but it does add a little bit of stability to the build itself when placing the things down, so I would go that way. And as you can see, like I said, when it's roughly a generator apart, that's pretty damn accurate, and if you go further than that, it won't really work, and if you go shorter than that, it won't really work either. It's a funky little thing to try and build, okay? But the way I'm lining up these lights real quick is on the top brim of the Pickaxe Pilsner sign. You see that angle, that cut-off angle right there? That's where I'm aiming for. That 90-degree angle, I'm aiming for that to try and line them up. And I do clip them in a little bit, but it has this added ability, by the way, of being able to be turned on and off. So at night, you can head out, turn it on, and you can light this however you want. I've backlit this, I've frontlit this, I've underlit this, whatever you want to do, you can do. But as you can see, I'm deleting the things here. It shows you just how it actually works together. So I get rid of all this crap because I don't need it anymore. And I'm going to show you how Sinister Hand does it. So once again, as you can see, 2 fence posts about the same length apart. And you want to be aiming a little bit high on this placement. With the actual display case backing, it makes it a lot easier to place this kind of stuff because you're actually placing this on the edge of the fence post, okay? So, like I said, funky thing to build. But it's a fun thing to build, and you have my permission to just place it wherever you want. But as you can see, you're aiming quite high on one of the fence posts. You're not actually looking at the fence post, you're always looking in between the fence posts. And one side will be clipped in a little bit, or clipped out. That's perfectly fine. Don't worry about it. Place your platform down with your wall, place your X on it, grab it, go take it on over, and once again, you want to aim for the E, or sometimes just between the E and the X. You want to aim for about there, and you want to be very gentle, right? You want to caress it like it's a woman, okay? And I might use these metaphors a lot, but seriously, caress this thing like you are passionately kissing a woman, because it likes to go in an angle, and that angle is really annoying. So as you can see right here, it's got a bit of an angle on it, and I don't like it. It's ugly, but it's hidden, okay? It's fine. You can mess around with it, but once it's in there, you can't pick it up and move it, okay? You can't take it back to the wall and fix it and anything like that. Once it's down, it's down. If you want to change the way it's placed, you have to take it off, delete it, and rebuild the entire thing from this part again. And you can kind of do it this way as well. You can kind of build it on a wall. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It didn't work for me here, but sometimes you can actually get it to work. I've had it work. In fact, I had it work in one of my previous videos, which you can actually check right here in the top corner. That was my underground train station. I actually managed to build it on the wall there, but yeah. That's basically how you build them. My idea and Sinister Hands' idea. Now, Sinister Hands is more like fluid and, you know, it's more pretty, but it's harder to build, whereas mine's easier to build, but it's a little bit fugglier. And you can actually have a bit of fun with it. So this one has actually got the trash can and is lit by just this lantern at the top, but on the back, what I did is I reversed the placement of the actual display case, and surprisingly it made it a lot easier to build. So if you want to build it that way, go ahead, okay? That's probably the easiest way to build it without adding any of the other stuff. You can also, for a little bit of fun, make a midget one. Yeah, you can make this a little bit taller, a little bit shorter, but this is my midget one, which is designed for midgets, because if you stand at it, it's kind of like nipple height, so you can't really see it. But as you can see, it has no backing boards. It's built like Sinister Hand one. It's got all the stuff to turn the lights on and off, which is good, but I didn't put on the X's and the "you are here" and all that kind of stuff. But it's a very small one, so this can actually be good for inside of a building or just outside of a building that you've built. But yeah, it's that simple. I hope you enjoy making these, because I had a lot of fun actually building these, and it was nice to see like a new player or a new character just stumble across it. I was hiding for a little bit, just doing some other stuff, and funnily enough, a little bit later, Graham came along and decided to have a check, and of course he's checking out the original one there as well. So thank you very much for popping on by, Graham. You've made it all well worth it. So there we go. That's how it's built. Pretty easy to follow along. You can just follow along with it at home. If you do build it, go ahead and tweet me some little screenshots of where you built it, where you placed it, and how much you had fun with it. And there's my Twitter on the screen right now. But apart from that, I would really appreciate you going and checking out the second video that is up right now as well. It came up at the same time as this. It's how to make a specific type of roof that is really good. So go check that out. But you guys know the drill. Like, share, subscribe. And until the next time, stay awesome.